Welcome to a new episode of the Mixtape Queens Podcast, where we bring you the hottest and most talented people on the planet. And today we have one of the most beautiful souls that we've been able to find on social media. We love us some Grace Weber. You can't tell us nothing about her. It's our queen. It's our queen. And we're just grateful and excited for this moment to get to know you better and hear your story and everything. So welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm really, really excited to be here.
Yay.
Are you in LA?
I am. Yep. I live in downtown LA, and it gets a little rough sometimes down here, but I love it. My husband and I lived in New York for like 12 years. I went to school there, and then we lived in Brooklyn after that. So we love New York, and we kind of thought downtown LA would be like New York. It's not super like New York, but we love walking. Like, that's our big thing. Like, we like that we can walk to the movie theater and the grocery store, and so we don't have to get in our car. Where are you guys based?
We're in Arkansas.
Oh my God,
we're
cool.
worldwide.
All right. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Amazing.
Only on the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so we know you're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
You're a nature girl.
Yeah.
By heart. So how do you get your daily dose of nature in LA? Do you go to the beach?
That's such a good question. Honestly, I feel like I don't get enough daily dose of nature, and I should. You're actually reminding me right now that would be good for my soul. But we don't really get out to the beach just because it's such a long drive. And I feel like I'm less of a beach girl and more of a forest girl. When I was growing up in Wisconsin, I used to hang out in, there was this field across the street from my house, and there was this woods, and I loved going with my friends and making little forts and stuff. We'd make swings on the trees and stuff. So now my husband and I do make trips out to Idlewild, which is this place. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from LA, up in the mountains, and it's very mountain forest. In the winter, it's super snowy, and so we go to these Airbnbs and we make fires, and so that's kind of our retreat. And we haven't gone on hikes a lot either. Really, I feel like we don't search out nature in LA. We leave LA to get our nature. So that's kind of our thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Definitely a roots gal. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. We love.
I could feel that from you, because I didn't know that I was a nature girl until I came out here and met her. And I literally live, breathe, and eat the air out here because it's so fresh and it just does something for my brain. So I can only imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm from Las Vegas and she's from Chicago. So we really are out here lit. It's kind of the dream to have a house in the woods.
Yeah.
And we're getting to, but we still can't get enough nature. We got lots of plants in our house. So that's one way you could get some more nature in LA, get some nice plants in your house. And we got a fish tank too.
Yay.
But
I love that's so cool that you guys come from Chicago and Vegas, and now you're living in just this open, because I feel you when you get that clean air, and you just and you could put your bare feet on the ground. I love walking around in the grass just barefoot. I feel like it's super grounding, so that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, if you ever come out to Arkansas, we just filmed a podcast on the edge of a cliff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Not too close to the edge, but it's overlook, and there's some really beautiful spots out here in Arkansas. So I know you're probably going to be traveling around, so just keep that in mind.
No, we got to put that on the tour. What city are you guys in?
There's no city around here.
We're close to Little Rock.
We're close to Little Rock, Dallas, Oklahoma City.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
we're a few hours from anything, really.
Okay, that's cool. We'll definitely put Dallas, or we got to put something on the list so that you guys can come for sure.
Oh, well, we're coming.
We'll
for
be
sure.
there.
Yeah, because we're committed to this podcast. We just started in January, and we're already you might be 80th episode by now. So we're committed to hitting the road and, coming to see all of our people in person.
Yeah.
And taking this podcast, because it's such a beautiful thing to have a platform. Like, you get to share your music every day. We love your music. We see all your videos, so we just love to share your light in a different way and like put more spotlight on the things that you do, because you're so cool. Like, you're a painter, right?
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure I saw you are involved in some type of like school for kids to learn music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in Milwaukee, I started this program called Grace Weber's Music Lab, and basically it's for all Milwaukee area high school students. I bring in different like friends in the music industry from around the country to come work with the students, because one of the things like that Milwaukee doesn't really get enough of, and especially like young people in Milwaukee, is like access to like the world of the music industry and just kind of like these different experiences outside of, like the paths that you think you might be able to take in music. Like I want the music lab to like open your mind to be like, oh wait, I could be like a mixing engineer. Like I could host a podcast about music. Like I could be a singer. I could also be like a background singer, like all these things. I feel like there's so much, sometimes like when you're an artist, they're usually like can be put in this box of like, okay, like comparing yourself to other people and thinking like, I am supposed to go this path. I'm like, if I don't do that, I'm a failure or whatever. And like, I'm trying to help students feel like, or know that there's so many different, paths in the industry. But really honestly, like our main two goals are to bring like Milwaukee high schoolers together, because a lot of schools in Milwaukee are a little bit like separated. And we wanted, to help those students who feel like they're like the odd man out in their schools to like find community in the music lab and find other students who are like, oh my God, you're just like me. Like I don't feel so alone. And then our main second goal is to create space for students to like be themselves. And so we just create this really safe environment. I run it with this amazing artist and girl called Be Free in Milwaukee. And honestly, like it's so inspiring, because you see, like there was this student the other day who, it was his first time performing ever on stage. And I think he was like a sophomore in high school. He was so nervous and he was kind of like shaking a little bit. And all of the students were like, you got this, you're amazing, you got this. And so just seeing like the students, support each other, and like, we literally, Be Free and I, like we booked the hosts or booked the special guests, we host it, but then we just kind of like step back and like let the students, tell us what they want to do. And, we give like very positive, constructive feedback. Like, there was one girl who like closed her eyes a lot when she sang, and we were like, maybe like try opening them a little bit, like connecting with the audience. And so then we have them try again and like kind of see how they react to the feedback and stuff. But it's so inspiring just because of the way you see kids like bloom. I'm gonna tell you one other story. There was this kid that showed up. He was so nervous to just like meet people, super shy, like wouldn't really talk to anyone. But by the end of that lab, he was like in the middle of a dance circle, like breakdancing. And so for us just to see like the transformation of kids, and again, like just being in a space where they feel like they can be themselves is like life-changing. And sometimes it's like the first time that they've felt that. So yeah, that's like what I'm most proud about for the lab, for sure.
Wow. Oh, that's so beautiful. And you're an angel for not just you, but the people you work with. Y'all are angels for those children who need that facilitated for them to feel that part of themselves without feeling like they're being judged or like somebody's shaming them about being different. And I truly appreciate that, because I know from my experience and from what Elise has told me from her experience growing up, our talents were kind of put to the back burner because some, other people didn't know how to facilitate that space. It wasn't like normal. And I just think that is the most beautiful thing that you could ever do, is give that back. And it's almost like recycling the love that you feel and putting it into other people so that they can recycle it and put it into other people. And it just goes on and on and on. So
powerful.
Amazing.
100.
Yes.
100%. Yeah. And like I did this program when I was a senior in high school called Young Arts, which is like this thing you could apply for. And I got picked as like one of 180 students in the country to come to Miami and do this whole like workshop with all these different artists around the country and these mentors and stuff. And so that was the first experience that I had where, like you said, like there were people who kind of knew, like teachers and mentors who knew how to facilitate, you know, what I want to do in my dreams, and also like how to believe in me in a way that I don't think other teachers did, just because maybe some of them like just didn't know what to do. Kind of like they were like, we don't, and you know, I feel like there can be more like moments for like teachers and mentors to like take humility with that and be like, you know, I don't know like how to mentor you, and but let me find someone who does. And I think instead of like, you know what, we're gonna put this on the back burner because we don't really get it and we don't know what to do. And so like it's too like stressful or whatever. And like when I was at Young Arts, I was like, dang, this completely changed my life. And so that's why for this, like you said, like recycling I was like, if there's students who can get this type of like access earlier, like it could change their lives too. So yeah, I like what you said about like they didn't know what to do with you. Like I think that's just something like that's why we bring different mentors in. It's like if we don't know how to help you, like there's got to be someone who does. So yeah.
Absolutely. And shout out to those teachers that do take that extra effort to make sure that they continue to help those students that really, really see that within themselves. Shout out to those teachers who find a way to make it happen for those kids.
Yeah, 100%. For real.
Shout out to them for real.
So tell us, who are some of your early influences in music? I know music is in your blood, right? Your mom taught you a lot of things. She played a lot of instruments, right? So just name a few of your early influences.
Yeah. So my grandpa was a musician and he had 10 kids, including my mom. And so he had all of his kids learn an instrument growing up. So when I was coming up, all my aunts and uncles played instruments. And I actually just posted this video today of me singing in Milwaukee and my uncles like in the back playing piano for me. So like all my cousins and stuff, we would just sing around the piano and just like, that's why music was always like a part of, like I was singing for as long as I can remember, but also like every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, like it was all music. But then like vocally, I started listening to Mariah Carey probably first, where I was just like, how is she doing that? Like the runs and stuff. Like I just like remember trying to figure out how to do runs on like Emotions or something, or Vision of Love, and I'd like slow down what she was doing, and it was like da 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 or something, and I was like, okay, those are the notes, and then you just speed it up. And so she was kind of like one of my early voice teachers, I always say. And then I really loved Boys to Men growing up. That was like just like musically and like the R&B and just like the way that their harmonies blended. Like I just loved their voices. And then this is when I love Celine Dion. And then I also like loved India Ari when she dropped, what was it? Not Voyage to India. Was it Voyage to India? What was her first album?
Yeah, Voyage to India.
Yeah. I think that was her first one. Yeah, that was like a whole other world too. So just like a lot of singers, and then a lot of just like writers. Joni Mitchell, I'm like running out, but a lot of writers and a lot of singers who just like kind of melded together to make me the artist that I am, for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you and I are the same age, and I'm a huge Mariah fan. And that makes sense because, there's a lot of good singers out there, but when I heard you, it's like it just resonated so different for me because you have this like gospel sound. And so yeah, that makes sense. And I'm a big India Ari fan too.
I love that.
But tell us, who are some of your current day influences? Like what's in your headphones? Like, maybe put us on to something that we never heard of, or
Okay.
We love new music.
Yeah. I I love Lucky Day. I'm loving him. Like, I just love the production, like the writing. He's someone that I love. I also love, I mean, obviously Jasmine Sullivan. Kenyon Dixon is kind of someone who's sort of been like weaving his way into my playlists and stuff. And Steve Lacy, I love like just like production wise and musically, like it's like that right amount of different. I don't want to say weird. It's not weird, but it's like that type of thing. Like you just haven't heard these like type of sounds before, and it's like a little off the beaten path, which I love. And then, yeah, I think those are some of the people who are like in my playlist. Oh, Cleo Soul, like she's been around, for a long time, but I just discovered her Colors. I just had never really listened to her. That there's people that you like know and everyone loves them, but you just like haven't honestly like had time or something. It just hasn't like happened yet. Oh, but I heard her Colors episode and I was like, oh my God. Like, and so she's become like someone that I'm like kind of catching up to and just like beyond obsessed.
We're gonna go back and check because we want to hear, what you're listening to.
Absolutely.
And we love Colors. We've been watching Colors for years. So when we found out about your episode, we were just so excited. Can you tell us a little bit more about how it went? Like, were you nervous? Like,
yes. It was so fun. It was like literally everything. So I knew the guy who books a lot of the artists on Colors. I've known him his name is Brandon Payano. I met him in like 2018 when I was opening for Third Story. I don't know if you've ever heard of those guys. But they were like buddies of mine. They sort of they did break up as a band, but they were like at a high or whatever. So I was opening for them and Brandon was there and I met him. And then we just kind of like built ever since 2018 or whatever. And I knew that like at some point I was going to ask him like, can I do a Colors episode? And I was just like waiting for the right moment and kind of waiting for like me to be ready and like kind of wanting it to happen at this moment when I was putting out music and whatever. And like at a time where I felt like he would say yes, because I feel like I had like done my, I don't know, duties of artist development or whatever. And so I like went in his DMs and I was like, just wondering, like, do you think like it would be like time for me to do like a Colors or whatever? And he was like, oh my God, this is like long overdue. Yes, 100%. I was like, oh, and I like immediately like texted the team. I was like, oh my God, I like screenshot or whatever. And then this was like maybe like 2 or 3 months before I actually did the performance, but we had been like on email with them, like trying to pick the date, and you fly to Berlin for it. So they, were kind of saying like, okay, we're going to get you some dates for like next month maybe, or like 2 months from now, like stay tuned, da, 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 da. And then they hit us up like 2 weeks before the performance. And they were like, yo, we just had an opening. Like, would you be down to fly to Berlin in 2 weeks and do the performance or do the recording? And we were like, yes, 100%. Like, and we just like dropped everything. And my husband actually came out there with me because he's like my like emotional support human, we always say. Like for all the like, I mean, you guys know for sure, it's like for all the like big things, it's like you need just like that person, like, so I practiced like every day, like just I went to the studio and like practiced on a microphone and like tried to just like see how it felt to like sing that far away and whatever, and like see if I wanted to have both in-ears in or just one ear in. And then the cool thing too is like I had just met this stylist in the studio like maybe a week before, and I had told she's an up and coming amazing stylist or clothing designer. And I told her like, yo, at some point like I'm going to be on Colors. I don't know when, but it looks like it's going to happen. Like we should talk about like doing a fit maybe or whatever, because like that's obviously such an important part of it too. And so then like a week later, we found out, and my stylist, Amy, and I were like, yo, what if we ask Em? Like maybe that could be cool. And so we asked her, she was so down, and she like hustled her ass off, just like getting she had like, 5 days to like put together this like ridiculous fit. And it was actually her first time making pants like that. And she told us later that she just like watched all these YouTube videos to like learn how to do it and da da. And I just felt like I was so inspired by that, because it's like she, you know, didn't take the path of like, oh, I don't know how to do it, like, so I'm not going to do it. She was like, I'm going to figure this out. Like, just like taking it as her moment too, like in the same way that we were like, this has to be epic. Like my team and I were just super focused on that. So yeah, then went to Berlin. It was like, the studio was amazing. The people there are so chill. You like show up, and I don't even know how much I'm supposed to like reveal or not, because it's supposed to be like, I don't know, a little mysterious or whatever. But I will say that I thought you would show up and there'd be like a makeup person and like a little bit more kind of like other shoots that I've done where it's just a little more like pressure, like whatever. And it was so chill. Like it's all kind of like younger people, like 20s and early 30s, you know, running it. And like, so you walk in, they're like, hey, like, what's up? Like, we're so excited you're here. Like, you know, whenever you're ready, like, you know, let's go for it. You can do as many takes as you want. Like, it is one take, you know, but, you know, like, let us know when you're ready. And the like studio is so cool, because you like see the, you know, the platform and like the microphone. And so it was amazing. It was definitely like a dream come true, and just like, you know, it was everything that you would want Colors to be, like it is. So yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
It sounds like divine timing to me, because you seem to hit your connection up at the right time. You found your designer at the right time. Your spouse was able to come with you at the right time. And y'all really made that work so beautifully. First of all, tell your designer friend she did that.
Right?
Okay.
She went crazy.
I looked at it like 12 times. I'm like, damn, this is crazy.
Custom handmade, like she went, and I love like the ties at the bottom. I thought were so cute. Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of good fashion.
Yeah, you do.
And all your music videos are so cool, like so artistic, and
oh man, don't even get me started on Bitch You Played Yourself, because
I love that. Yeah.
The first time I heard that, I cackled, because I was like, this is too good to not be like number one somewhere. I don't understand. But, yeah.
So speaking of, the song was called Intimate, right? And then just right after that, we saw the video that you did with the one take where you were on the beach. Can you tell us about that? Was it really a one take? Like, obviously you're just kind of lips, you know, you don't have to record it, but you just, the way that you walked in, and it must have been like a drone or a crane or something, and it just followed you the whole time. It didn't cut. And even the way that you got down at the end and the wave came, it was so perfect.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. How did y'all do that?
I love that. Yeah, we started this thing, or like we're kind of starting this thing where we do like music videos, lyric video, and one takes is what we're calling it. So like for Insincere, we did a one take, and we decided for Intimate, we were going to do the same thing. And sometimes it's kind of like, we make that choice when it seems like creatively it's the right thing to do, but also sometimes it's like, you know, we don't necessarily have budget right now to do like the big music video that we want to do. Like, let's do kind of the artistic choice of making this a one take. And we don't want to do that with every song, but this felt like the one. And so we hit up one of my director friends, and I was like, what do you think? Like, what does this inspire in you? And he instantly was like, okay, I have this idea. I don't know if you're going to like it, but I want to use my drone. I want you to be walking on the beach. I just want to follow you, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. That sounds amazing. Like, that's gorgeous. And so we went out there. And again, it's just like, I love creating with friends. That's like I love my team, because we've just been doing this together for so long, and it's such a team effort. Like, everything that I do is like 4 minds coming together to like really make sure that the creative is on point and the styling is on point, and like just that we're creating like beautiful art or whatever. So anyways, buddy of mine, we went to the ocean, like we planned this thing out. It was slow motion, so I had to sing it fast, which was really hard because we had the speaker kind of like my DAC was like holding the speaker as I was walking, and it was like stay up with me like we're the last two only and the whole world's asleep. So I had to kind of like stick to it while like trying to stay like super chill and whatever and emotional. But the song is like really fast, but the ocean, it was like freezing that day. The ocean was freezing. This was like maybe a month ago we shot this, a little more than a month. And so we did one take and it was absolutely so cold. And I was like, let's just get this in the next take. Like, we're just going to get in this take. I believe in all of us. I'm going to commit. Like, none of us want to be here for like, and I'm like, I'm going to get hyped with them. I was like shaking and like just trying to keep it all like not shaking. But it was just, again, one of those like divine timing moments where like everything just kind of worked out. And like, you know, we had it choreographed. It was like, okay, you're going to walk here and then you're going to go down on your knees here and then you're going to walk towards the ocean. But like that moment where the ocean just like took over the whole screen, like that was just, and it was strong. And so, but I knew like, this is going to be so pretty. So I just like made sure that I didn't fall over. And I was just like, and they're screaming like, yes, keep it like that. Like, don't move, da, 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 you know? And I'm just like, ah. And so when I saw the shot, I was like, oh yes. Like, and we didn't even like, everything you're seeing is the actual like crop of what was in the screen. And so we didn't like punch in or like crop anything. Like it was just like how it happened. And so, yeah. And so that was it. And then I actually colored it myself on Premiere. I just put like a little LUT over it and we put it out.
Wow.
So yeah, I love things like that where it's just like, everybody is like in the zone. We're there to like make the moment happen, and then it does. And so yeah, I'm glad you like that. It's like,
well,
I'm glad you like that.
It was so stunning when we saw it because like we literally had to rewind it several times because we're like, how are they getting these shots? Like,
yeah, my mind was
how
blown.
was this? Yeah, she was like, oh my God, the ocean, the scene.
It's a beautiful a testament to when you're living in your authentic self and being yourself in a true creative form. I think that's where we find these divine moments every day in life, where a lot of people might just look by it, but you were able to capture that. I love how you're over there doing your Lumi tree on the Premiere. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, seriously, because my DAC was like super swamped with other stuff or whatever, and I was like, I think I can just do it. And it was kind of like, let me just get like a draft of this and see like if you guys like it or whatever. And then everyone was like, this is cool. I was like, all right, let's do it. Like, and it was cool too. Like the director and DAC, like everyone was like, we want the song to shine and like have everything else with the video like simple and also like epic. And so like using nature to like create that was kind of the intention of like, you know, we don't have to use like, you know, a bunch of cuts and like crazy lighting and all this stuff. Like, let's just use like the sky and the sun and the ocean to like help us create that epicness and simplicity at the same time.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Y'all did. Y'all killed it.
Yeah,
That's all I
legit.
gotta say.
So we got 2 more questions before we go. We want to find out more about this album that you're listening to, and we know you have a tour going on. So can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so the album is coming out really soon. It's coming out. I don't want to tell you the date yet because it's sort of like maybe it's going to come a week later, but it's coming within like the next month and a half. And I'll actually show you just for fun. We're like, I will just show you this. This is like the order that we're working on. You can't see like the song titles, but like, and that's the album cover and everything. So yeah, so we're handing out all the mixes like in 2 days. And so it's just like this amazing feeling. We've been working on it for like a year and a half. So yeah, so that is coming out in like a month, and then tour kicks off November 1st. And so I'm just so excited to get on the road, and I love singing live. I love like the interaction of the audience, and I usually try to get like the audience to sing along with me and like kind of make like a choir moment happening. And usually I always get a little nervous, like, are people gonna get like annoyed about this? Like, I don't want to sing. But it's always just like this super engaged like amazing thing. And so, yeah, I'm excited. You guys, so wait, are you guys going to come to a city?
We need to check the dates again, because if you're anywhere near Little Rock, Dallas, even Memphis, Oklahoma City,
anything.
The closest we're doing Charlotte and Atlanta and Durham. So it's kind of far, but we're going to put like Texas on the list for sure. Dallas and maybe Little Rock. You guys just, how we decide sometimes is like the streaming, cities. We can see like where our top streaming cities are. So you guys just need to like stream the shit out of it, and then we'll be like,
we definitely do.
And then it'll just be like you guys and the audience will be like, how did this get like 1 million streams? You're like, it was us.
It was us. Yeah, you got thousands from the national forest over here.
For sure.
Yes. Oh my God, I love that.
So you want to ask the last question? We ask this to everybody because we're really dedicated to helping artists find their light inside of them, and we're here to spark that up. So go ahead.
Okay, so here at the Mixtape Queens, we do our best to uplift those that listen to the podcast, to be inspired to continue their dreams and not be discouraged by the world and how the world wants to shape them. So what advice would you leave the listeners with?
I would say really like always go back to trusting your instinct and your gut and like your truth. Because I think if you can find like a quiet space amongst everything, like there's a lot of times where like your truth. And it can be so hard to listen to that because you like either want to please people or like you don't want to mess it up, or like other people are telling you that that's not the right thing. And so you're like, okay, like I must be wrong. But like the one thing that I learned in my path was like every time that I didn't just like slow down and like listen to myself, it was usually I found myself in a place where it wasn't really where I wanted to be. And so in the past like couple of years, I really tried this, and it's like slowing down. I think that's part of it. It's kind of like everything is so crazy, especially right now with like just the world and social media and everything feels so fast that you kind of feel like you have to keep up all the time. And I feel like that a lot. So then it's just like, let me just take a moment to like really think about this. So yeah, that's what I would say. And I also want to say you guys are the most beautiful people. Like I'm grateful that you guys invited me here just because you shine so bright and you have made my whole day. So thank you to you guys for sure.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen.
That means a lot.
Yes,
to us.
we love
that means a lot to us because when we send out love, we really want people to feel it and understand like we're here for y'all. Like we will do anything for y'all. That's our mission. That's our goal. And it really means everything to us to be able to have these opportunities to have great conversations with artists like yourself and continue to uplift these other voices that don't necessarily get the time to shine in that way.
Yeah, well, so I feel it. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, Queen.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of our podcast and sharing your story and your inspiration. And we love you so much. And we will put all the links for all of your social media in the bio to make sure that everybody knows how to get in touch with Grace Weber.
Yes.
Everybody that's listening, make sure y'all tap in with this queen.
Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, everything. Everywhere. And on tour. So thank you.
Oh, yeah. Buy them tour tickets.
Yeah.
Let's get
Yes, exactly. Soon in Little Rock. Stream in Little Rock, everyone who's out there, stream in Little Rock.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in Texas, because we will come to 2 shows. We'll
make it to several states to see you for sure.
Amazing. I love it.
All right, Queen. Well, thank you so much, and you have a beautiful rest of your week. Stay powerful.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon.
Rise like a phoenix into a realm of the unknown.